Hi, welcome to the channel. This is Beyond Authentic Health and Beauty, where we are documenting our slimming world journey and beyond. Today we're very much in the Beyond section for Beyond Halloween, where I'm showing you how to create this Stranger Things Season 4 Angela inspired Halloween look. So if you want to know how I did it, stay tuned. Before starting today's look, I've already done all of my skincare and my foundation. So I'll show you what I've been using. This is the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade Ivory. Now I use this mixed in with some of the Jekka Black Glow Drops in the shade Rose Pearl to give quite a youthful glow, because obviously Angela is quite young in Stranger Things. I've then applied quite a liberal amount of concealer to get rid of my under eye bags, because I'm not a teenager at 46 years of age. So this is the Jeffree Star concealer, the Magic Star concealer in the shade C12, I think it is. And then I've gone over everything with the Juvia's Place White Sands setting powder. I'm going to start off today by using a blue shade. Now I'm actually using the James Charles palette, the Morphe James Charles palette, and I'm going into this mid shade sort of blue here. Any palette you've got that's got a similar color to this, it's quite similar to my top, this is what we're going to start with. Now I'm using this on quite a large brush. As you can see, it picks up a lot of color. I am just tapping off, so I'm just going to start applying this across the crease and basically where we would normally put our transition shade. Now there isn't a lot of eyeshadow in this look, so this is pretty much one of only two colors, so I'm going to build it up. As you can see, look, when it hits the light there, it is actually quite bold. So let's just see how this goes on. Okay, so again, tap it off. I want to build this up ever so subtly. Now getting a little bit more shadow. Now, because this character is based on something from the 80s, there wasn't as much emphasis on transition shades and things like that back in the day. It was very much almost a one and done, but we're just going to bring it ever so slightly into the modern era by just going up ever so slightly and using this color as I've done there as almost a sort of a mild transition, if you like. Now I'm using the same color and the same brush, and I'm just going into the crease area and I'm just packing it a lot darker, getting a lot more of this color on to really kind of start bringing in that budgie blue effect. So now I'm using my finger and I'm going to go into this sort of aquary blue shade just here, this shimmer, because one thing that we know that the 80s was famous for and into the 90s were the shimmer shades. Now I'm placing this all over the mobile lid. Just to give it a little bit of emphasis, but also to keep that sort of youthful look. Now I am going in with a period appropriate mascara-ish. This is the Maybelline Great Lash Mascara that has been around for absolute decades. And I've got to say, I like it. I think there are much better formulas these days, but just for, you know, a bit of fun and a bit of accuracy, let's just use this. I mean, you know, one coat, it does the job. It really does. Now, if you wanted to, you can add maybe a blue eyeliner on the upper lash line if you wanted to, just to kind of help emphasize your lashes. Again, because of that youthful look, I'm going to keep it quite bare, so I'm not going to add much more detail onto the eyes. Now, I am just going to use a tiny bit just on the end and just try and coat my lower lash line, being very careful not to have this transfer onto my skin. So I'm just wanting just to make them just visible without making too much of them. And that's literally all the eyeshadow colours we're using. So I'm going to put the palette down. Now for blusher, I've got a couple of options. I've got the Makeup Revolution blusher Reloaded in Pink Lady, which is this sort of quite, almost, it's quite a vibrant pink, but it's a muted vibrant pink, if that makes sense. It's not quite as Barbie pink as maybe this one is from the Marshmallow palette from I Heart Revolution. Now I think this one is going to be too deep for me, and I think this one is pulling too peach, so I am going to use the Pink Lady blush colour, which is the one that I've got here. Now, any of these sort of almost Barbie pink blushes, that's the sort of shade that you want to go for ideally. So for blush, I'm not applying it as we would today, taking it up and sort of up almost into the hairline. I'm actually just going to keep it very much on the apples of my cheeks. So find that. Now, obviously, when you smile, your face lifts. So when it drops down. So you want to smile and then kind of hold your finger as to where you want to place the blush. So for me, the blush needs to be here, not on this bit, because when that drops, it drops quite far. Again, you know, if you are actually a teenager following this, then you probably don't have to worry so much about that, because unfortunately, as we get older, our faces do drop a little bit. But, you know, sort of just placing it here like that, that's enough. See, I've started to want to take it up as I would do today. So I'm going to match that. Oh, I've already done it on that side as well. So you can see, look, it's just so ingrained that this is how I do my blush these days. But there you go, look. So that's kind of the look. Now, I am going to bring it slightly further in than I normally would, purely and simply because we are recreating that sort of 80s Stranger Things type vibe. So just around like this and keeping it in a very circular motion, almost getting that sort of Aunt Sally vibes, almost. But there we go. That's kind of it. I'm not really going to do anything else to the face except apply a lipstick. Now, any Barbie pink lipstick will do. This one is actually in the shade Malibu Beach House by JSC. And it is one of the Velvet Traps, I think they're called. As you can see, it's a very sort of neon-y Barbie pink look. That's kind of the initial look at me. I've got an 80s makeup style, but we're actually doing Angela post skating incident. So we're going to add in some special effects. Now this is where you can get really, really creative. Hi, this is Lisa. You're watching Beyond Authentic Health and Beauty. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that like button. It really helps us out with YouTube's algorithm. And then hit that subscribe button and make sure you have dinged your bell and changed your settings to all. That way YouTube should notify you each and every time we upload a video. But if you'd like to support us in this channel just a little bit more, you can always go across to buymeacoffee.com/Beyond Authentic, where you can in fact buy us a coffee. That's also where full details of our brand new Coffee Club Crew memberships are, including exclusive members only content. Thank you so much to those of you who are choosing to support us. Now I am going to use liquid lipstick mainly for the blood effect for this look, for two reasons. One, I found that the fake blood that you can get commercially, especially the cheap stuff, is rubbish. It looks very, very see-through. It's fine to enhance the look, which I will use a little bit later, but it doesn't really stay in place very well and is really prone to just like running down your face, and it just doesn't work for me. Secondly, this is probably something that we've all got in our sort of makeup drawers. So if you've got a red, especially if you've got something that's quite dark, and then also something that's quite vibrant red, you can sort of use the two together, and then maybe with just a little tiny bit of the sort of the cheap fake blood just to enhance it, give it that sort of gooey wet look. I think you can get a really effective look. So we're going to start with that now. Now you want to use whatever liquid lipsticks you're using, you want to use your darkest colour first, because what we're really going to get is to start to create that sort of that wound look in the centre. So I'm just going to draw just here. And again, I'm just using it kind of quite thick, and I'm not being too sort of exact about it. Now again, because quite a lot of liquid lipsticks, they've got that sort of drippy effect already, I'm just using that to its advantage. So I'm kind of creating almost like where the damage is done initially, and then I'm following the shape of my nose to take the drips down one side, and then to take them sort of to create that really naturalistic look. Now again, because with a liquid lipstick wand, you're able to sort of use the pointed bit to actually draw this in, and then you can take it down as far or as narrow, or you know, you can take it as far as you want to, as far as you need to create that sort of look. If you want it dripping all the way down your face, you can. If you want to have that sort of that fresh, I've just been hit in the face by a rollerblade, Then you can kind of leave it a little bit more sort of down to here. You can have it pouring all down your face if you want. It's entirely up to you. This is where you can be quite creative with the process. Now again, from watching Stranger Things, we know that actually the blood on Angela did run down both sides of her face, but I'm not going to take it too far down on this side, almost as if the wound itself is to sort of this side of my face, if you look, so it's not exactly central. And then as the lipstick is starting to dry, I'm just going to build it up a little bit, fill in the bits where, you know, I want it to look a little bit juicier, if you like, and then start to add in a little bit of discoloration around the edges. Again, I'm just still using this same color, but you can sort of tap it out and just take some of that color off if you want to, and then whatever's left on your finger, you kind of get almost like a blood splatter effect. So if you want to have a little bit of that just sort of there, like so, just a light touch, you're starting to really build up that effect. See, again, I think that now looks really effective already, and we're not even finished yet, but I'm going to apply a little bit more and just build up in that central place, really get that super, super dark. Now, if you wanted to, you could add in here a little bit of a black eyeliner or a little bit of a black liquid lipstick or something, just to really give that extra depth. I'm not going to do that now. I am just going to go on with the other liquid lipstick that I've got, which is the NARS Star Woman, which is in this different sort of shade of red. Now again, by mixing the different shades of red, you really do create that sort of really quite gloopy sort of blood look, as you can see. Now we're going on to the fake blood. Now again, this just comes in a little tube that you can just tap on like so. Now what I like to do personally, let me just find it, there we go, is take like a really small little concealer brush or like a really small flat eyeliner brush, and just get some of the sort of the liquid, the fake gooey blood stuff just on the end of your brush, and then just use that to add it over the top and go, and to build it up basically as you go. Now this is because I don't really want this running, and as you can see, look, just coming off the top there, it's already running down the tube. It is very, very, very runny stuff, but it is useful, especially if you're using liquid lipstick to kind of keep that color in place. It is useful just to add little touches of it, little drips of it, just to give that wet sort of genuine blood type look. But I don't know whether you can see, just there I've gone just over where that is, and you can see just how pale it is. Look, let me show you. If I use it on the back of my hand, using quite a lot, like so, it still looks really runny, really see-through, and that isn't convincing to anybody, is it? Whereas with the liquid lipstick, I kind of really like that look now. It kind of looks like, you know, you've done your face to go out and have a really fun time with your friends, and then all of a sudden you've been hit in the face with a roller skate. Now you can just build up a few more drips if you want to, just to add a little bit more to the face. You can take it down sort of onto the natural lines of your face, so it does create that sort of quite naturalistic look. But I quite like that as it is. So then, all that's left to do is add the final touches, and I'll be back with the finished Angela look. There you go, that's the finished look. It's an exceptionally cheap wig that I only bought for this look. Obviously, if you were going out for a proper party and you want to spend a bit more money on a decent wig, you could do, but also I think it kind of gets across the character. The earrings aren't accurate, but they did match the makeup, so that's why I've used those today. But there you go. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts and feelings down in the comment section. This is obviously my makeup look for Halloween, inspired by Angela from season 4 of Stranger Things. There'll be a card coming up just here with more makeup looks, and one just here with more Slimming World content. But that is it from me today. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.